So the other day, I, like many others, went to see the Super Mario movie, and I thought it was pretty good. Going into it, my expectations weren't the highest for a Mario Illumination movie, but I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of love that went into it. There was an ungodly amount of fan service, but if I'm being honest, I ate it all up like the absolute consumer that I am. As someone that has been a Mario fan my whole life, I really appreciated all the references and details added into the film. Like when Luigi begins exploring the Dark Lands and you can ever so slightly hear the Luigi's Mansion theme. Or like when Donkey Kong's about to get knocked out and it plays the original Donkey Kong theme. Or even when Mario is first exploring the Mushroom Kingdom and there's that retro store and the Toad working there is like, "You need to blow on it." That's not going to sound good out of context. I know I shouldn't be so easily swayed by fan service, but these are small details that I did not expect from a movie made by Illumination. Now, the fan service may have worked on me, but it certainly did not work on the critics. They really didn't like this one. Their biggest complaints are that the plot is pretty simple and there aren't many emotional moments. There's even some that I think are extremely over the top, like this one. And I mean, yeah, but it's not like there's no plot whatsoever. They give Mario some character development by having his dad think he's a disappointment, and then he thinks he's a failure. And then at the end, he believes in himself, then he stops feeling like a failure. It's not the most complex thing in the world, but it's more than the video game Mario has ever got, so I don't really see the problem here. I guess Bowser's motivation is also kind of dumb, but it's so f***ing goofy, so I love it. Plus, in the games, Bowser's always just kind of been like a mustache twirler. There's nothing really to him, he's just sort of evil. And when it comes to the cast, I think it was pretty good. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that from the second it was announced that Chris Pratt was going to be Mario, we all thought this movie was going to be complete shit. But to be honest, I think he plays a good Mario. Although sometimes, for some reason, he did do the high-pitched Italian voice. But I'll take it. It was also nice to hear Charles Martine at the beginning to show that Nintendo haven't completely kicked the ladder on the guy who's been with them for like 30 years. I think I'm definitely in the minority here, but I actually thought that Seth Rogan suited what they were going for with Donkey Kong pretty well. But he did just keep doing the laugh, and I don't really know how to feel about it. The only character I don't really think fit was Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It got the job done, but he just didn't sound like old, which would be fine if Cranky Kong's whole thing wasn't that he's old. But out of all the characters, don't think I'm alone in saying that the standout was Jack Black as Bowser, because he's just good at playing a bastard, I guess, which is what Bowser is, really. I especially enjoyed his voice in the parts where Bowser becomes Elton John for some reason. I wasn't really sure about it at first, but now the songs are just stuck in my head. Talking about music, there is a lot of it in this film, which is very faithful to the games, and is what you expect from a Mario movie soundtrack, to be honest. Like when Mario turns up at Peach's castle, Peach's castle music. When Mario turns up at Bowser's castle, Bowser's castle music. Mario goes to Donkey Kong Country, Take On Me. Wait. Yeah, for some reason there are small montages in this film where music from the 80s and 90s is played. And I noticed that the majority of people online have been kind of mixed about this, but I could take it or leave it. It definitely fit better in some places than others, and it could have been so much worse. I've also seen people complain about the pacing of this film and how it goes really fast, and I definitely get where they're coming from. Like there's a part when Mario first meets Peach after breaking into the castle, and he doesn't really have to convince her that he's not dangerous. She's just like, yeah, human, you come with me. But overall, I thought the pacing was alright, and it got the job done. Now, the movie's visuals are really good. If you don't care about anything else from this film, just completely turn your brain off, go full monkey brain. Just look at the bright colors and the beautiful animation. I think a big reason why this movie has been so mixed is because the last animated movie most people watched was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. But this film isn't that, and was never going to be. I'd say to enjoy this movie, you need to go into it with the mind that you probably aren't the main demographic if you aren't a Nintendo fan or a child. Because let's be honest here, this is for kids. And I feel like if I watched this film as a kid, I'd really enjoy it and want all the merchandise. But regardless, it's a fun time. And if you're thinking about seeing it, get some friends together and have fun. Because that's what this movie is at its core. Now, I'm not a critic and I'm not at all qualified to rate movies. But if I was, I'd give the Super Mario Bros. Movie a 7 out of 10. Well, this video isn't over yet, just keep watching. You've got like 30 seconds. If it isn't obvious, I've never really made one of these review style videos before, so please criticize the absolute f*** out of it so I can make better ones.